Blake smiled and said, "Lauren, you are always too sensitive." Father sat on the sofa, his eyes indifferent. Mother stood by the door arranging plates, her face gentle but distant. Blake raised his champagne glass, shining by the dining table. I held my coffee cup, feeling tightness in my chest. Mother said to him, "You are truly the pride of the family." Father nodded and smiled but did not look at me. I put down the coffee cup and looked toward the window. City lights reflected on the glass like a mirror of loneliness. Blake winked at me with a hint of provocation. I walked to the table, picking up the fallen napkin. Mother urged me to help with the flowers. I answered, "Today is my birthday." Father raised his voice, saying, "You are too sensitive." Blake shrugged and said, "You said it, not me." I stared at their familiar contempt. The air in the kitchen felt tight, as if about to explode. I gently set down the cake plate in my hand. Mother forced a smile and said, "Lauren, do not be angry." I stared at them, breathing steady and calm. Blake lifted his glass again to provoke me. I turned, leaning against the fridge, silently counting time. I walked into the office carrying my briefcase. The computer screen lit up, showing the Microsoft crisis report. The client praised my plan for saving their brand. An email popped up announcing an $85,000 bonus. I held my coffee cup, feeling power flow through my fingers. I remembered my 11th birthday, sitting alone at Chuck E. Cheese. At 17, sent to my grandmother's house, missing the party. At my college graduation dinner, my brother's engagement stole the night. Father only spoke of Blake's success, not mine. Mother nodded in agreement but did nothing real. Each disappointment turned into professional drive. On weekends, I brought Thai takeout to Mrs. Henderson's home. She smiled and handed me handmade cookies. I told her about family unfairness. She held my hand warmly. Back at my apartment, I sorted the bonus check, confirming no one could take away what I earned. I opened the real estate website, searching lake houses. Clicked a 3-bedroom cabin priced at $425,000. Weekend sunlight shimmered on the lake when I visited. I said I want to buy it without family approval. Loan approved the moment I signed. I felt free. I furnished the rooms, hung my diplomas and photos. Books filled the living room, each piece chosen by me. I sent invitations to coworkers, friends, and Mrs. Henderson. Blocked family contacts before pressing send. On Instagram, I shared photos captioned "Weekend at my new lake house." A birthday gift for myself, shining bright. Notifications showed 42 missed calls. Mother called many times, I did not answer. I sat on the balcony facing the lake, wind brushing my face. Sunday, I brought documents to my parents' house. The mansion lights glowed heavy with pressure. Mother opened the door, trying to hug me. I stepped back. Father and Blake waited in the dining room. I placed the files down, pulled out a chair, and sat. I showed a 15-year family expense comparison. Tuition, loans, vacations, everything clear and precise. Blake's face turned pale. Father gripped the knife tightly. I calmly read aloud screenshots from the family chat. Mother's voice trembled, reading, "Lauren should pay $15,000. I closed the file, my eyes steady and unmoving. Blake stammered, "I never asked for any of this." I said, "That has changed." I stood up and left, leaving evidence for their reflection. The door closed softly, its echo like thunder. A year later, sunlight filled the wooden floor of the lake house. Coworkers and friends gathered to celebrate my 33rd birthday. 33 candles glowed on the cake. My phone filled with messages of congratulations. Mother brought a small cake, speaking softly with blessing. Blake gave me a framed, restored photo. I smiled, seeing my 7-year-old self on a swing. I raised my glass toward the lake, sunset reflecting in my eyes. For the first time, I fully celebrated myself. Learning that value begins within, not from others' recognition. In the morning, I walked along the lake, breathing fresh air. The water mirrored the blue sky and drifting clouds. The wind brushed my face, bringing calm and comfort. By the lake, I read and recorded career plans. Each page filled with goals and schedules. Weekends I invited friends for barbecue and rest. The kitchen filled with the smell of grilled meat indoors and out. I organized chores and ingredients in perfect order. In the afternoon I took friends boating, ripples spread across the lake. Children's laughter echoed around the cabin. I felt joy and peace in controlling my life. At dusk I returned home, sorting bills and legal files, ensuring every fund independent and secure. At night I sat alone on the balcony watching the stars. Their reflection shimmered on the water with quiet light. I wrote in my journal, recording every moment of freedom, confirming that no one could take what I built. At breakfast I fried eggs, toasted bread and brewed coffee. Outside birds sang as sunlight warmed the kitchen. I arranged the living room, hanging awards and graduation photos. Every object represented independence and confidence. In the afternoon I walked the local shops, observing daily rhythm. I took notes of ideas and business plans. At dinner I invited friends to share an easy meal. Laughter and talk filled the spacious living room. On weekends I ran along the lakeside trail, breathing freely, watching reflections shift with the clouds above. At night I checked my mailbox, replying to clients carefully, keeping work and finances stable and precise. I practiced language lessons, improving communication skills. Each video call with friends brought warmth and joy. The lake house filled with calm and independence. Every morning I woke feeling safe and free. Weekends I learned photography with friends. We captured the lake and mountains, recording daily life. At dusk I returned home, brewing tea, reading on the balcony, breathing slowly, feeling life fully in my hands. I planned long-term savings and financial strategies, each step stable, ensuring future independence. In my lakeside studio I wrote and organized work notes. Each piece captured growth and the feeling of freedom. Daily exercise kept my body strong and full of energy. At sunset, light reflected through the cabin, filling the room. I felt a deep sense of safety and control. On my birthday friends and coworkers gathered again. The cake candles shimmered across smiling faces and lake view. Mother brought a small gift, speaking softly with kindness. Blake brought a frame showing my childhood again. I raised my glass to the lake and felt peace inside. For the first time I celebrated myself with complete contentment, learning that value begins within, never from others' recognition. At the lake house I planned each day with order. Work, study, exercise and rest all balanced together. Every morning and evening I recorded thoughts and plans. Order and freedom became my daily rhythm. I organized legal papers, securing my rights. All accounts and funds fully independent and protected. Every call and message filtered to avoid disruption. Friends' video calls brought care and connection. The lakeside scenery and rhythm brought calm to my heart. I wrote about my past and the journey to freedom, each word showing my determination to live on my own terms. Each day I planned and acted, forming a steady circle of safety. Freedom and independence became the foundation of life. I truly owned a life under my full control. Daily breathing, observing, recording and reflecting became my habit. Ana Rodriguez felt the balance of independence and peace. The cafes of Paris and the quiet lake house formed a contrast. Every free choice brought calm and power. I saw the tangible results of my effort accumulating over time. Value began from within, never again needing others' approval.